going on? What's going on? This is Daryl Gray speaking from his bar, the bar that is in his house, my Dallas Cowboys themed bar. Had a bit of, what am I trying to say, motivation, inspiration tonight. Wanted to do a little thing called what I want to call a diatribe. Tried to start to do this with a friend of mine. Can't link up, can't connect together to get this done, so I'm gonna do this by myself. I do a lot of things by myself, and that's okay. We can get that done by myself. And as a matter of fact, I'm not really doing this by myself. I'm doing this with my girl, Alexa. Don't know how legal it is for me to bring Alexa into this thing, but Alexa, say hello. She didn't want to say shit. Alexa, say hello.
Hello.
I think you guys know what company makes that. I'm not going to get into that, but she'll be my assistant in this little recording that I'm doing because I feel compelled tonight. I've been going through some emotional shit in the last day or so. The last couple of weeks, and I'm feeling like I need an outlet. I think I let a lot of stuff just kind of simmer underground, under the skin here, under my dark black chocolatey skin. I think I let stuff just kind of fester, and I need to be able to talk to somebody because at this particular moment in my life, I don't have anybody to talk to. I really don't have anybody that's really going to listen to me like they should, and I think that I think that maybe this is a good outlet for me. So I'm going to start calling this thing I'm doing called it's going to be a program. It's now Saturday morning about 1:30. I've been drinking a little bit of this Long Island iced tea. The clear mix that doesn't have anything in it. I've thrown some Mountain Dew Voltage up in this bitch. It's all blue and tasty. I think I'm going to call this a Playmaker because I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. Michael Irvin, shout out to Michael Irvin. And I'm buzzing a little bit, and I got something to say. I got some things to say. I got some things to talk about. I think it's interesting enough for me to talk about these things because it's viable. And we'll get to the crux of really why I'm talking all crazy on this microphone tonight as I drink my Playmaker. And so I'll get into it. So over the past week, we've experienced some nonsense that's been going on for decades, if not centuries, as it pertains to black people and how our relationship with law enforcement is really something bizarre, something crazy, something that hasn't rectified itself, and I'm not sure what we can all do about it. I'm listening to brothers. I'm listening to white people. I'm listening to everybody have their own opinions about what the hell is going on. And honestly, it's asinine. It's bullshit. We go through all these conniptions as to what's going on. We talk about the flag and the national anthem and Colin Kaepernick and all this other shit that's going on. Whatever that means. Cops shooting unarmed black people, and people are saying that maybe they're doing something wrong, and whatever that is. But let's call that what this is. Let's call it out what it is. We can talk about good cops versus bad cops, and maybe how we act when the cop stops us, and maybe we should be polite and say please and sir and thank you, and have your hands up, hands down, walk, whatever you want to call. This all boils down to the fact that these motherfuckers don't like our skin. There are these racist people out here, these Trump supporters, these cops, whatever. It has nothing to do with the way I behave. I can be the most intellectual, intelligent, rich, whatever you want to call it, polite Negro in the history of mankind, and they still want to put a bullet in you because racists don't care. Racists don't like your skin. I grew up in Utah, and I can tell you I'm a fairly articulate guy. I'm not a slouch in that regard. I got degrees. I have an education. I'm fairly polite. I know I could be abrasive, but it's only abrasive to people who think that an assertive Negro is abrasive. If I were a white guy being assertive as I am, then I'd be a go-getter. But no, as a black man who's assertive, I'm abrasive. I'm an uppity nigga, whatever they want to fucking call me. However, it doesn't matter. They don't even have to know you. All they have to do is look at you and see your broad nose and your melanated skin, and they don't like you. I'm dealing with that in my personal life now. I'm dealing in a relationship where people just don't like me because of the way I am, which means I'm black. They can say all the crap they want to say. They can take it. They don't like me and will never like me because I don't look like them, because my skin is darker. So that's exactly what's going on with these cops. That's exactly what's going on with this Trump shit. There's nothing we can do. There's no particular way we need to behave. Understand that they just don't like us. They don't like us because of our skin. That's all there is to it. Stop trying to make excuses for this shit. Stop trying to pander to these people. I don't care what you do. You can stand for the national anthem. You can sit for the national anthem. You can kneel, take a knee, whatever it is the fuck you do. These white people or these racists don't like you because of your skin. Because of your skin. That's simple. It's simple. It's simple. It's so simple. They don't even have to know you. You could be a Nobel laureate. They don't care. Your skin is black. Your skin is dark. They don't like dark-skinned people. And all you dark-skinned people out there playing kumbaya with these racist motherfuckers, they don't care. They don't like you either. They want us to behave in a way that makes them comfortable. And anytime you stand up speak like I'm speaking, or stand up like I'm standing up, I guess, you're of no use to them. I'm telling you, I live this racist bullshit every day. Every day. It's subtle and not so subtle. I had a conversation with somebody who's dear in my life, and her people just don't like me. They just don't like me. I'm not doing anything wrong. They just don't like me. If you Occam's razor cut away all the obvious stuff that it can't be, it's because I'm a Negro. Stop fooling your fucking self. It's evil. It's bullshit. And that's exactly what's going on with these cops. It's exactly what's going on with these cops. Alexa, define racism. I guess she didn't understand that question. I'll try it again. Alexa, what's the definition of racism?
Racism has two distinct meanings as a noun. 1. The prejudice that members of one race are intrinsically superior to members of other races. 2. Discriminatory or abusive behavior towards members of another race.
That's it. That's it. It's bigotry. Okay, Alexa, define bigotry.
Bigotry means the intolerance and prejudice of a bigot.
Okay, Alexa, what's a bigot?
The word bigot means a prejudiced person who is intolerant of any opinions differing from his own.
There it is. I got another one. Alexa, what is white supremacy?
White supremacy or white supremacism, the belief and promotion of the belief that white people are superior in certain characteristics, traits, and attributes to people of other racial backgrounds.
So we understand that these are logical thought processes. For no other reason other than you think you're better. Thus, I don't mean shit to anyone. My blackness, I don't mean shit. And it's of the devil. So these shootings, even on a lesser basis, I'm dealing with the racial prejudice of nothing as I live my everyday. Now don't get it twisted. There are some white people out there that are okay. They don't hate me. They actually even want to like me. But they're so being, being intimidated. That's the word. That's the word that they intimidated into liking, or not even liking, into behaving in a way that's detrimental to me, in my feelings, because the people around them are racist and bigoted. It's crazy to me. And it pervades the police department, workforces, and everything else. Any of you knuckleheads out there that believe that racism doesn't exist anymore, you are deluded. You are handicapped in your thought processes. I see it every day. I live it every day. And honest to God, if you are a Bible-believing, God-believing person, a person who believes in the God of the Bible, that is absolute of the devil. And for you to even justify and deal with it in that regard, any affirmative regard, you are part of the fucking problem. Absolutely. These white cops out here shooting these brothers, unarmed brothers, they're dealing in demonic, in my opinion, demonic possession, because they are of the devil. Especially when you're flying a helicopter, he looks like a bad dude. Every Negro looks like a bad dude to you. Hell, I've been called evil by a skank that I broke up with just because I broke up with her. It's bullshit. It's asinine. And it's of the devil. And I don't care what anybody says. It's of the devil. And I'm sick of it. Don't say you're not a racist if you make decisions based on racism, and don't try to downplay racism when you know you got it, when you're dealing with it, when you know you're dealing with it. I would much rather somebody tell me that I'm dealing with it than to say they're not. It's such assholery for somebody to sit there and tell me they're not racist, but they have racist ideologies. And the next motherfucker that comes to me talking about this black on black crime shit and these skewed white tainted crime statistics, I'm gonna spit in their face, because that shit is nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. Negroes are not committing crimes more so than white people. They're being reported more, and because you have more of a police presence in these urban areas, they're being that's the skew. That is the determining factor of what's being reported. More police doing more police shit means skewed numbers. That's all there is to it. There are not cops roaming through some of these areas where white people live because that's not the objective. The objective is to deal with brothers like that. White people do not commit crimes on a lesser scale than black people. That's all there is to it. And it doesn't make any sense to even talk about it. The statistics will tell you that there are just more white people, so they commit more crimes. So if you come at me talking about black on black crime, that ain't got nothing to do with police brutality. Stop doing that. Bringing these skewed numbers up. It's ridiculous. It's of the devil. I'm sorry. You guys are fucking idiots. Let's move on to something else. I'm sitting here looking through the news. Angelina Jolie and your boy Brad Pitt breaking up, divorcing, as couples will do. It's part of our culture. That's what the fuck we do. You know, I look at some of these articles about Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, and I think to myself, based on what I'm reading, I don't know who's at fault, but in my own mind, I'm thinking, what could Brad have possibly been doing to turn her off like that? My own truth when it comes to relationships and women is, women tend to believe that their feelings are truth. I've written articles about this, blogs and articles about this same thing. I've done video about this thing, and I'm starting to believe that when a woman has a feeling about something, she thinks that is the fucking truth. Because why is she feeling this way? And sometimes, we as simp ass men, we validate them feelings. And so over the years, we've gotten into this culture where we take women's feelings and we say that they're the fucking truth. And we validate that truth. We validate those feelings because we've been taught to validate it. Just like we're taught to validate children's feelings, but I'll get into that in a minute. And I talked on another video that I did that probably will never see the light of day about how we take our feelings and we say, because I feel this way, I'm gonna take action on it. When the Bible tells you, if you believe in God, the Most High tells you that your feelings don't mean shit because they can deceive you. Yet people, men and women, I guess, will sit there and talk about how their feelings, how they mean something, and destroy relationships based on some bullshit, feelings that aren't validated. If you have evidence in a relationship that somebody's actually doing something shitty to you, that's a reason to break up. That's a reason to destroy a relationship, not based on some gut feeling. And what's so bad about our society is we sat there and we validated gut feelings. We've said that those mean something. And it's bullshit. That's the devil telling you that shit. That your feelings are actual gold. And it's such nonsense. I don't know how many times that I felt jealous about certain things in my relationship and they turned out to be nonsense. And that's the truth. It's nonsense. Unless I actually catch dick in mouth, penis in pussy, it's all subjective shit. It's all opinionated shit. But I will let my mind conjure up ideas based on some nonsense. And I don't understand at this day and age why we don't understand evidence. And evidence means truth. It means something. But women will sit around and have a feeling, and we have to validate those feelings, and those feelings mean something. And guess what? Relationships end. Men get a feeling about something. They do something rash in that regard, and it was nothing. There was nothing to it. They just believed that their feelings were something valid. It's so crazy to me that we haven't learned this lesson. So I think back to Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, and I think, there's got to be something here. If this guy was abusing these kids, excuse me, that's one thing. But I almost, in my mind, think it's got to be some shit she was feeling, or some shit she had an intuition of, or whatever. Now, if this guy was abusing these kids, then he doesn't need to be around them. However, I don't know why in my mind I believe that there was some emotional bullshit just going on, because women tend to get in their shit, which is not fair to us. I said in this video, if you got a guy who's going to be 75 to 80%, 90% in your fucking bailiwick, in your lane, you're ahead of the curve as it is. The problem is, excuse me, I'm choking on Long Island iced tea right now because I'm drinking right now. I'm trying to get my buzz on a little bit. If you got somebody that's 75 to 80%, 90% in your lane, then you have something there. There's something substantial there. If he's not beating you and not taking your money and disrespecting your kids, laying up in the house, farting under your covers, why do you give a fuck? You got something that 99% of women don't have. A good dude. And I don't understand this thing where we take the bad stuff and we make the bad stuff outweigh all the good shit. It's this soap opera mentality that we have, and I can preach about it every day, and I'm not heard. on many levels, because I'm a man and I'm supposed to be a knuckle-dragging Neanderthal, and I'm a nigga. And what I say don't mean shit any fucking way. It's asinine. I feel for Brad. I can only imagine that he's gone through some shit. Outside the abusive shit, if he's abusing these kids, he needs to go to jail, because that's the way I feel about it. But if he's just dealing with Angelina's fucking emotional bullshit because she feels like she can ransom off her pussy, whatever the fuck that means, and he wasn't biting on it, not literally, but biting on the ransom, whatever. I'm not gonna get into that. Then I feel for the guy. I feel for him, because a guy like him doesn't need to put up with shit like that, but he decided to. A guy like him doesn't need to put up with shit like her shit if she's abusing her fucking position, because he didn't have to. And this is crazy to me. It's crazy. Relationships should not be this fucking hard. Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, that's the end of an era, I suppose. They even adopted a black kid. I wonder who's going to fight for custody on that one. I wonder if he's going to fight for custody on that one. But that's to be said. I always go racial. Understand, in these recordings, I always go racial with these shits. We can move on to something else. I want to talk about this validation of kids' fucking opinions. I'm going to talk about the power we've given our freaking children. And this is pervaded into the black community too, and I'm sick of this shit too. The Bible tells us that there's a hierarchy. There's a hierarchy. There's God, Jesus, man, woman, child. And God literally meant for the children to be the last thing on that hierarchy scale. But we have been taught in America and across the world that the kids are our future. I can hear that dumbass Whitney Houston song in my head right now. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. We have taken children, we've elevated them above both parents. And these knuckleheads know that shit. They know that they have been elevated above us. And that's not what the Most High God wanted from us, if you believe in the biblical God. I've seen in this community kids running their houses. They run their houses. These knucklehead, testosterone and estrogen surgeon little motherfuckers run their houses. Parents are tweaking over these fucking kids. And what's so bad, and part of that is because these parents want to be their fucking friends. Fuck that shit. I'm not your fucking friend. My father was never my friend. My father wouldn't even have a drink with me until I was like damn near 25. I always knew who was the parent in my house. But you got these people out in this community, at least, that everything that comes out of their fucking kid's mouth is gospel. And everybody, if they're not grinning, then they're not winning. These fucking children run their shit. I'm dealing with this shit right now, where somebody's fucking children are dictating my fucking relationship. And it's bullshit. And it ain't of the Bible. And I know I shouldn't be talking the Bible and cussing at the same time, but right now I'm on a nigga diatribe. I don't even know what to say right now. I got liquor in me, and I'm in my bar doing this thing, and I'm gonna say what I need to say right now, because I need to. Your kid ain't supposed to run your fucking house. Your kid ain't supposed to run your relationship. And if your kid don't fucking respect your gangster as a parent, then guess what the Bible says? You're supposed to kill that motherfucker. That children's supposed to fucking die. But anybody who hears this is going to be like, oh my God, that's so crazy. He shouldn't say that. That's so crazy. I told you that Negroes were evil and they're bad and they don't take care of their kids. No, we don't need to take care of the kids the way we need to take care of the kids. We need to smack the shit out them motherfuckers. I don't believe in whooping kids like slaves, but they don't run shit. Kids ain't supposed to run your fucking house. And especially get into your private life. But I'm dealing with that shit right now. Some fucking kids getting in my shit. Some young boys and young little girl running their fucking mouth, dealing in my shit, got my shit all up in an uproar. And it's fucking bullshit. These motherfuckers can't piss between boots. All up in my shit. I'm not telling you not to take care of your kids and not to respect their feelings, but at some point, you got to tell them sit your ass down. And when you turn 18, 19, 20 years old and you got running your mouth in a grown folks' house, that's time for you to get the fuck out. Stop coddling your kids. Your kids ain't supposed to be running your shit. These kids ain't supposed to be all up in your Kool-Aid like that. The Bible tells you, Most High God tells you your kids ain't supposed to be running your shit like that. We have given kids way too much influence on our daily. They are not to be running your house. They are not to be. If young kids could think rationally, then they fuckers would have jobs. Then they would be paying taxes. Most kids sit around their fucking phone having a fucking opinion. If they can string two sentences together, they think they're fucking smart. These kids are not fucking smart. They're fucking ridiculous. But we sit around going, oh, I don't want Stephanie to be angry with me. And I don't want Greg to have a better. Fuck that shit. You're supposed to be a leader to your children. And you're supposed to make sure, as my parents say, do as I say, not as I do. And these parents running around here letting these kids run their fucking house. My parents would never have done no shit like that. And I think it's a fucking travesty. An absolute fucking travesty. And I'm going to tell you right now, I think it's even by design by the devil. Oh, you're going to hear me talk a lot about the devil, and I'm gonna get into who I think the devil is later on, because it ain't no ethereal spirit running around here doing dumb shit. There's a certain type of person out here in this world that's doing this nonsense, teaching this nonsense, and I'm gonna tell you right now, we need to get away from that shit. Kids ain't supposed to run your house. Kids ain't supposed to tell you how to run your fucking relationships. And when they get out of line, you're supposed to put that ass back in line. Be a kid. I wish we could go back to the biblical time we stone these little rat bastards running their mouth. Not the good ones. The good kids who are respectful. They can live, and we support them. Not these motherfuckers running around yelling at their parents, telling their parents how to run their fucking lives on some opinionated shit. I'll put your ass in the ground. You don't even fucking know. Anyway, I hope my Dallas Cowboys win this weekend. I'm pretty excited about that. I hope that they can pull one out against the Bears. We got this Dak Prescott kid looking pretty good. If we can get this defense to step up, some no names turning into some real known players, step up and make a great scheme like your boy Belichick here, we might be able to do some things, but I'm not sure that Tony's going to get his job back if Dak can come up with about 3 or 4 wins and put him on his belt. But I ain't going to get into that right now, as I sip my little Long Island iced tea, my playmaker as we call it. But I'm pretty excited about the season. I hope that this is my favorite time of year. I want my Cowboys to do well. If you look around my bar, I got a whole lot of that decoration. My bar is pretty sweet. I don't have too many people up in here because I really don't like that many fucking people. But I think it's a nice little hangout. But I'm gonna do some recordings from here every so often. I'm gonna have to kick the ballistics to you, go on a little diatribe about my shit. But I want everybody to understand that I do the best I can. I do the best I can. I try to be the best man I can possibly be. I love hard, but I ain't putting up with a lot of nonsense from anyone. And I want to be a good man to whoever I'm with, And in this racist shit and all this other shit that goes on that's ancillary to what's going on in the world. Who has time for that? Who has time for that shit? If you find somebody that's nice to you, if you find black or white, you find somebody that'll treat you halfway decent, that's where you're at, And you ought to be thankful that you have somebody that would be good to you. If you've been in broken relationships and you in your 40s, and you find somebody that halfway wants to fucking deal with your shit half the time, even more than half the time, you're lucky, man. You're a lucky motherfucker. But it is what it is. I mean, I've broken up. I've going through divorce right now. And then what do you do? What do? You just kind of fucking do the best you can, man. I'm a veteran at this shit. But I want to be a good man to somebody at some point in my life. And hope that I get somebody who will see me for the positive and let that positive outweigh that negative shit. And I don't know if that'll ever happen, you know? But that's the will of the Most High. You just only hope that somebody will find some value in what the fuck you're doing at some point. On every level. At your job, relationships, that your kids find value in you. Whatever that is. And if they don't, and you've done the best you could, you know what I mean? That's just life. I've resigned myself to that shit. So, hey, be thankful for what you got, people. Be thankful that you find somebody that actually gives a fuck about you. Especially for those of you who have a history of broken relationships. You know? You find somebody that wants to halfway deal with you on any level. Hey, you need to make sure that shit works. Because I'm telling you, there's a lot of douchebag motherfuckers out there that just want to do you dirty. And they don't care. They don't give a shit. I'm under the impression that 90% of motherfuckers out there ain't worth a shit. And I believe that shit. I believe that. White or black. There's 98% of motherfuckers out there ain't worth a fuck. Selfish motherfuckers. If you find a motherfucker that don't want nothing from you, and all they want you to do is spend some time with them and make them laugh and be comfortable with them, and that ain't enough for you, there's something wrong with you. That's something wrong with you. That and I mean that. My right hand to the Most High God. I'm gonna cut this off right now. Finish drinking my drink. I may be doing this more often than you think. Love y'all out there. Now take that back. Let's be real. I love all y'all that love me. The rest of y'all that don't, kill yourself. I'm out.